Hi guys, and welcome to day 36 of our 365 Days of Courage, where we always try to encourage one another every day for a year, looking for verses in the Bible that assures us not to be afraid, to fear nothing, and to take courage. So our verse for today is taken from the book of Genesis, chapter 21, verse 17. Ano ang sabi doon? What are you troubled about, Hagar? Don't be afraid. God has heard the boy crying. Ano yung kwento dito sa verse natin na to? Now, remember, Abraham and Sarah were waiting to get pregnant. Kasi nga, di ba, God promised that Abraham's descendants will be as many as the stars in the skies, as many as the sands in the seashores. Pero hanggang ngayon, matanda na sila, wala pa silang anak. And so, out of their impatience, silang mag-asawa, pinag-usapan nila at pinagplanuhan nila na itong si Abraham will take Hagar, his Egyptian slave, and sleep with her and sleep with her so that he will be able to bear a child for Abraham. And true enough, Ishmael was born. But then just later on, Sarah got pregnant and gave birth to Israel. Now, isang araw, si Israel at saka si Ishmael, yung anak ni Abraham kay Hagar, were playing together. And then nakita ni Sarah and said to Abraham, paalisin mo yung babaeng alipin natin. Dahil yung anak nyo na yan, na si Ishmael, hindi siya dapat makihati sa iyong mga yaman. And so, Abraham was troubled kasi naawa din siya kahit paano dun sa slave. But then, God appeared in his dream and said, okay lang yan, just do what he says. Do what Sarah says. Because hindi ko naman din pababayaan niyang si Ishmael. I will also bless him. His descendants will also be many and they will become one nation. And so, that assured Abraham na, sige na, so ayun, binigyan niya ng, hindi ko alam, binigyan niya ng pera or ng pagkain. But, what is notable in the Bible is binigyan niya ng water. Bakit? Because Hagar is about to traverse the desert, Beersheba. And desert yon, so you don't expect na mayroong tubig. And kaya pinabaunan ng tubig. And so, when they were in the desert, siyempre maliit pa, bata pa lang itong si Ishmael, uubos yung tubig. What do you expect? Desert nga yun, walang tubig. So anong ginawa? Kinuha ni Hagar itong si Ishmael, inilagay niya under the tree, and then medyo lumayo-layo siya ng konti, and then she cried for her child. Imagine yung anguish ng isang ina na makita yung anak na nahihirapan. And even the boy was crying. Wala na nga silang mainom. And so that was when this verse came about. Tinatanong si Hagar, what are you troubled at, Hagar? What are you troubled about, Hagar? Don't be afraid. God has heard the boy crying. Ibig sabihin, sasagutin ng Panginoon ang panalangin mo to provide for Ishmael. Now, bakit kailangan dumaan itong si Hagar ng ganitong? Para sa atin, this is unfair, di ba? Kasi no one deserves to be treated like that. But remember nga kasi, God's people will be coming from the line of Abraham through Isaac, and not Ishmael. And so in order na magkatotoo yung scriptures, ganito ang kinailangan mangyari. But here's the good thing. Kahit na ganon, kahit napalayas itong si Hagar at saka si Ishmael, hindi naman sila pinabayaan ng Panginoon. Remember, in this verse, God heard the boy crying. So, ano ibig sabihin nito sa atin? God hears our cries too. Pinapakinggan niya lahat ng ating mga panalangin, yung mga panghihinagbis natin, lahat ng mga iniiiyak natin, naririnig din niya yung mga yan. And He sent the angel to assure Hagar na yung kanyang mga panalangin ay dininig ng Panginoon. And so I'd like to correlate this to our first reading for today, taken from the book of the second letter of Paul to the Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 20. Anong sabi doon? For it is He, referring to Jesus, who is the yes to all of God's promises. Now, sabi ko nga, dinidinig ng Panginoon ang lahat ng ating mga panalangin, lahat ng ating mga hinagpis, lahat ng ating mga reklamo, lahat ng ating mga iniiyakan, dinidinig niya, nakikita niya lahat ng mga yan. And He sends answers. But this time, ang pinakamagandang pinapunta niya dito bilang pagpapatunay sa mga pangako niya sa atin is His very own Son, Jesus. Jesus came not only for the salvation of the Jews, but for all mankind. And so therefore, si Ishmael man ay anak sa labas, but he was also blessed by God dahil kahit papaano, anak din siya ni Abraham. Nakalagay yan doon sa verse na binasa natin. And so therefore, huwag ka matakot because God hears you. He's listening to you. Every time that you talk to Him, every time that you pray to Him, every time that you cry out to Him, He listens to you. God promised that He'd take care of him and that he will be having descendants and that they will be becoming a nation. God is sure to accomplish that promise. Because just like when He promised that a Savior will come for us to be saved from sin, pinatotohanan niya yun. Pinatotohanan niya yun by sending His only Son for our salvation. And if ever you are forgetting these promises, remember Jesus. Remember to look at Jesus, God's yes to all His promises to us. And so, is that not assurance enough para hindi ka matakot? Para hindi ka mag-worry? So that you will take courage. So, huwag kang panghinaan ng loob. Kasi, God promised that everything is going to be alright. And He even sent His Son as His yes to His promises to us. We just have to trust Him. We just have to have faith in Him. Okay, guys? Alright, so thank you once again for listening and for always tuning in. And I'll see you tomorrow for day 37 of our 365 Days of Courage. Bye-bye! Ingat!